What is up, guys, and welcome back to Animation Station. My name is Micah, and today we're just looking at yet another scene. I know a few posts back I posted this scene here with our character Lolo. He goes from sitting to standing when our character Rose enters into the picture here. So you can see, and Rose is obviously talking as she enters into the room. Our next scene that I'm just going to discuss really quickly plays off the back of this scene. And what I mean by plays off the back of it, it doesn't come right after it, but we utilize all the same background components. So I did it a little bit differently this time. I saved it in sections of what I was doing for work so you guys can get an idea of my process instead of doing a time lapse. For example, I started off with this sketch here of Rose, and then I made the pot on a separate layer and the arm on a separate layer so that I can just deal with the animation that's going to be happening in the scene, which is obviously the hardest part. And it wasn't super simple because we still have from 0 all the way up to about 40 frames here of animation, and then we have a pause in the middle. Remember, when animating, pauses are extremely important. It's a part of the animation as well. So let's go ahead and hit play and see what it looks like here. So Miss Rose is just grabbing the pot, getting ready to pour some tea for her and our character Lolo. So it's very, very good. It's nice and smooth. Took a lot of drawings, but at the end of the day, you're only doing this once, so it does become quite simple. The next step here, I added some color. So I always put my fill on a different layer, as you can see. I use the colorized mask just because I find it fills these lines really smooth and looks really good. You could just fill it with the fill tool, but you will notice that it doesn't come out as clean as it does with the colorized mask. I've done tons of tutorials on that, so you guys can always look that up and see what I mean by that. And the colorized mask also I find makes coloring things a lot faster. So let's go ahead and hit play with our fill. And you can always take the fill layer here and the line layer after you're done the animation. You can just merge them together. I didn't at this point in the game because it would have been a little bit too early, especially if you need to make any type of change. Okay, so you can always do that if you really want to. But remember, if you don't have a saved copy, it's hard to go back and make certain changes. Okay, and then we moved on here. I added the back arm here. So the back arm is extremely important because the frame or the scene, sorry, that's right after this scene is Miss Rose pouring the tea, but it's very close up. So it's going to just show her hand coming into the scene, grabbing the cup, and then the tea going into the cup. So this back arm is super important because we have to create the illusion that the motion is already going to be happening once we start the next scene. So it kind of sets us up for the next scene. So let's go ahead and hit play so you guys can see. So she picks up the teapot, and you see the backhand there, it's starting to move. So we're creating that illusion that Miss Rose there is going to go pick up those teacups, which you'll see there in the next part. So this was the last part, so we got it all done, and we put in the background. If you ever forget what's in the background of your animations, you always refer to your previous scene. Make sure you always save backup somewhere. So basically, I just looked at this scene, and that's how I created the background for this scene. Okay, so this is the final product of our character, Rose. She's just going down. She's going to grab the teapot, just like that, and the two cups are behind it, and we've created that illusion that she's going to pour the tea now. So now we can start our next scene, which will be a close-up of Rose with the teapot in one hand, the cups in the other hand, and we can play around with the steam that's coming out of the teapot when she's pouring the tea. So that's what will be really, really fun. And you'll see Lolo's obviously not moving. These are all just still drawings. Okay, so yes, still drawings do take very, very long to do. So make sure you're organized and you prepare to have time to do those. And it really just takes dedication and hard work, guys. And we got our little assistant robot, which is the robot chair. If you're wondering who's holding that tray, if we go back to this scene here and we just go to the end, so Miss Rose enters the scene with our little helper robot chair that she uses, and hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more of that one. But if not, that's okay as well. It depends on which direction I go. All right, so that's everything for today. I just wanted to show you the process. It looks really good. I'm quite excited. Now what I get to do is I get to take this scene and throw it into the animation itself. It already has the words and the sounds pre-recorded, which is really cool. I did that already, so I get to see what it all looks like when it comes together. Okay. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you love animation, make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for my next post. All right, take care.